So, brother, we worked out. We got some good training in. Did you like it?
Insane workout, and I was a little bit doubtful about this early thing, but right after we started, right after we did this couple of sets, I got so psyched, and it was just crazy workout. I liked it a lot.
I love that. And then you also this week filmed with C.T. Fletcher.
Yeah, he does that annual championship of the strict curling.
Yeah.
And I thought that it's pretty close. Why not do it? Because it's free to enter. And
so you actually did the tournament?
Did, yeah.
Oh my gosh, this is awesome!
Yeah.
How'd it go?
Well, I didn't make it on my last try. I went for I think 175, and I did it. But this referees,
said
side
no
referees, they said that my butt came away just a little, so they did not accept that try. But if I made this try, then I would be a champion in my class.
Won.
Yeah, I would have won. And the guy who made this weight right after me, he won. So I was pretty close, but
that's pretty good. You just kind of, hey, you know what? It's going on.
It was my first time when I was straight curling, and
right.
I told that to CD right after the championship. I spoke with him. I took a little interview from him. And he said, man, you're strong. You just need to work on your form and get familiar with the technique of the movement. And then you're going to just kill it. So I was inspired by CD's speech, and I might do it again.
Do it again.
Yeah.
I like that you have that warrior mentality where you were there and you're like,
I see the opportunity.
Let's go.
Yeah, let's do it.
There's no
got the phone call to the camera guy, and he just pops up, and we start shooting. No preparation, no script, no nothing. Let's do it.
I love that. So there's a couple things besides you being a big guy and alpha male. I want to talk about growing up in the Ukraine. Is that right?
Yeah.
And then becoming a success. And then being able to leave there and come here for a month or two, and live your dream, but become such a recognizable character or person through social media and how you built your brand. How did all this start?
Well, it was a long shot for me. I've been working in aviation for 10 years before I started. Aviation.
Okay.
Yeah. So I started as a flight attendant.
Right.
So then I was moving up.
You don't fit on planes, though.
Well, I flew big planes.
Okay.
So I ended up being an aircraft dispatcher, and actually I went to Houston to get FAA aircraft dispatcher license back in 2014.
Okay.
Back then I was still working in aviation.
Oh, so long ago, man. That was 5 years ago.
Oh, right after that.
Just kidding.
Well, this aviation thing, I just decided to shut it down. I just decided to flip this page of my life, because I spent like sometimes 8 months overseas without seeing my family, without seeing my kids. And I thought that at that point I decided, okay, money is good, but I can't live. I need my kids to grow with that dad next to them.
Right.
So I decided, what can I do? I love training. I know English a little bit, so I do know how the social media works. So I started working on that.
How big were you at that time? Were you lifting? Were you working out?
I was working out, but like an amateur, I don't know. I've been training by that time like 5 years, but I wasn't very serious about it.
Right.
Diet-wise and training-wise, I was just having fun, enjoying training. So I trained with Americans because it was American base. It's Kandagar. 5 years of my last aviation career, I spent in Kandagar at the aviation base. So I trained with Americans. That's how I picked up this fitness slang, muscle groups and stuff.
Right.
So I thought how to use it.
So you're actually very new to health and fitness in a sense, and you've grown tremendously because you're on YouTube. You're almost at 1 million.
I can say I'm a new guy. Yeah.
Well, I mean, 5 years ago you kind of started getting into it.
Yeah,
exactly.
It was just the very first steps.
Yeah.
This explosion, if you can call it this way, it happened maybe for the last year or so. So I was just like I don't know, average fitness guy back in Russia and Ukraine, and this big explosion, I guess, it happened for the last.
What was it? What was it that took you from
Changed
the
it.
average guy to the leader? I mean, that's what you become. You've become a leader, and you got such great numbers on a fan base, or people that look up to you. I don't know if you want to call them fans, but you got these people that are like diehards, and respect you and follow everything you do. What triggered it to make it go from 0 to 100 that you're at now?
Well, it's
Was
hard
it one
to talk
video
about
or
yourself.
something? I know it's
No.
hard. I get you.
It's hard to talk about myself, but I was thinking about it. I was trying to analyze that myself. What I'm getting from my followers, what they text me when they thank me in DMs, most of the time they say that they like not my shape, not my, I don't know, work ethic. They like me being like sincere with them. They feel me being real to them, you know, because in most, I don't know, I'm not sure about how it works in the world fitness industry, but in our country, sometimes these fitness bloggers and these athletes, when you watch their videos, you can feel it's not real. You can feel it's like it's fake.
Oh,
you
it's
know.
the same here.
And when people watching my videos, they know I'm not perfect. I'm sharing my emotions. I'm doing live blogging as well. So I'm telling them, okay, guys, I was planning on doing that. I spent that much money, but it didn't work out. Okay, that's live, but I'm gonna keep on pushing, you know. And they relate to just a regular human being who's developing not only in fitness, not only like body wise, but in career, in life. So maybe that. I don't know.
I can agree with you, and it is the same here. You find that mostly, how old are you now?
36.
36. You'll find that with social media, and I just had an expert on, that a majority of the characters, they actually try to portray something they're not. And it's smart you're doing what you're doing, because that's C.T. Fletcher. That's how we do it. It's just you're being you. And that's what people really want to see, is the real person. They don't want to see this
People
fictitious
just
character.
imitating each other.
Right.
They just see someone successful and they start making copies.
It
of
worked for him,
themselves.
so I'm just going to copy that.
Yeah, but you see that, and people
They see it.
they see it. Yeah, you have to be like, I don't know, Leo DiCaprio or something to make this fake work. But
And you got to be that way 24/7 if you're going to fake it.
Yeah.
And it's too much of a pain in the ass to do that. Something I found out, that when you and me worked out together, you're very real. You're very to the point. And we didn't do a lot of editing of the footage, because it was just us talking and us doing us. And there wasn't much that we have to
I just
keep
couldn't-
away from the
yeah.
fans.
Yeah, I just couldn't cut this stuff because I watched through this whole raw material, and I can't leave. I have to leave this. I have to. It was too important. Every line, every word was too important for me, and I was thinking about the Russian-speaking followers, Russian-speaking fans of yours, and they need to know that. They need to hear what Mike says about this, about that. So. Yeah, it's raw material. It's almost 1 year,
1 hour, yeah.
1 hour video, which is not a format for YouTube, but still it goes viral.
They watched.
Yeah, they watched
Which
and they
is-
all loved it. Like, like ratio of likes and dislikes is, I think it's a record on my channel. It's not just views, but this ratio thing.
I love it.
Yeah,
It's good feedback for us.
yeah,
Keeping it real.
yeah.
You came from a place, and I speak about this in the sense of that, and I spoke about it earlier, is that you grew up in Ukraine, which I spent time in, and I saw a completely different world than I'm used to. And I've traveled the world, but this is somewhere where the production and the movie I was filming, we would be driving sometimes 2, 3, 4 hours to locations. Besides it being, Ukraine is beautiful. To me, it was just amazing. The Black Sea and all that was beautiful to me. But we'd get pulled over by cops.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
I mean, it turned an hour trip into a 2 hour trip, because we'd get stopped by cops. At no point were we speeding. At no point were we doing anything wrong. Weren't swerving. And the drivers were all Ukrainian workers. And they would just basically say they need a little money. And we'd have to give them a little money, and then they would let us on us way, and we never got tickets. But that was my experience being there. And then the amount that is paid, most movies are, mostly the movies I was doing, Barbarian movie and a Keeper of Time were very fantasy-based, castles, dragons, barbarians. So you already got the castles over there. You got all that kind of stuff, and you got the great wilderness to show. So a lot is filmed over there, but it's inexpensive to film there compared to filming here in Hollywood. So a lot of the movies get made over there. But the amount that was paid to the cast, or not the cast, but the helpers, was very low. Crazy numbers that I was hearing numbers that people were making $40 a month. And that's how much they need to live. And I'm like, well, I can't comprehend that. But you, and I could be completely wrong, and I saw a different part of it, but it seemed like I was there for 6 months, so I saw the real part of Ukraine, mostly at this time, and this was between 98 and 2002.
That is the time when Soviet Union was falling apart. And this is the roughest time. This is the worst time.
So I was there at the worst time.
Yeah, you was there at the worst time, and it was getting better after that. And of course, there is nothing like that right now in Ukraine. Plus, with all these political things, Ukraine heading over to Western direction, like Europe direction, cooperation with United States, So it's getting better.
Good.
And we just got a new president, and some people, it was how do you call it? People are all excited, and they hope to see the changes. But there is nothing like that. Like you said,
I was saying,
like a policeman pulling over you, asking for bribes or money just under the table. It doesn't happen that way anymore. We have this.
Good.
2 years ago, we had a revolution in the police section department. So they hired absolutely new people, like 20, 25 years old. Now they're called police, and they changed the cars, they changed the uniform. So it's more like U.S. police now, not those 50 years old with like
give me $40.
So
it's funny changed. Me saying this, because I imagine the listeners are kind of going, come on, it's not like that. That's you made that up. It's like a movie, and I'm like, no,
it was
I
like that.
really lived that.
No,
I was there for that long.
It is 100% true, but it was changing through the years. It was getting better step by step.
I love that.
It's not U.S., of course. It's not like Germany or France or I don't know those Switzerland, but it's getting better.
All right, then let me step further, and I'm gonna say, for all you Americans, this may offend you, but don't let it offend you. You should really stand up and go, okay, I am in a great place and I can make something happen. To come from somewhere, and especially like my girl, Mona, coming from Romania, during the Civil War, was it not the Civil War at that time when you were coming over? And she grew up on this dirt floor and couldn't speak American. You spoke a little bit of English, where she spoke none. And she gets dropped off in America and becomes a true success story. And I always think that is what America's about. And if people can come from other countries and become such success, not even speaking the language. Because listen, I'm one up on you. I grew up here. I speak the language. So I should be more successful than you that comes from somewhere else. Mm-hmm. And then you see these people come over here and blow past us, which I love. To me, it just seems like we take it a little bit for granted, because I know how the rest of the world is, because I've traveled for 30 years and I've seen this world and I've seen where people come from. What is it that got you to get up, become this? You were doing aviation, then you had a good job. But you took it up another level, because now you work for yourself. You're your own person.
It's different now.
You're from another country.
Much better now.
You didn't speak the language great, and now you're great at it. Much better than me. and you
Russia.
become a success. What is it that got you up and what got you going and got you over here and made the
You
switch?
mean us coming over here and making success comparing to people who lives here, who was born here?
Compared to people that live here and complain about being
Well,
here and
I-
don't become a success.
I'm not sure if you guys will leave this in this material, but I'll be honest with you. I'll just give you my thoughts on that.
I'm okay with this.
If someone makes it here, he's already been like, he's dedicated and he's disciplined already, and he knows how to work his ass off to get through obstacles. I'm not talking about me. Average, like you mentioned, Mona. If we make it here, we already have this backbone, to go through.
And when you mean
difficulties.
make it here, if you can get from wherever you're at
Yeah.
to America,
Yeah.
you already got something established. You got a backbone, you got work ethic.
Yeah, it's so lazy people stayed back home. They stayed in Romania and they stayed in Ukraine, to be honest, because it's
I
not
think
that.
she'll agree with you.
Yeah, it's not that easy even to make it here with
Right.
a tourist visa. 'Cause
Right.
I'm getting questions, Alex, how did you make it? Well, it's just, you guys just do some research, okay, make some money, and fucking make it here. It's hard, but it's not like it's doable. And then you start from there. Then you start doing research how you can make money here. I don't know, doing movings or washing plates or something like that. And so people who make it here, they already not lazy. They already have this backbone to work.
Compared to the people that are born here and lazy, or the people back home. It's okay for you to say it because I say it, and I think it's a great point that you're making. It's if we're here already in America and you're not making a success or not living your dream, that's your fault. That's not America. I mean,
It's a country of opportunities. If I just keep on doing what I'm doing, I'm growing, and I can see that literally day by day. Because I made it here like about a month ago, and you giving me this opportunity to shoot a video with you, and I see the results. I see how the video goes viral, and I'm happy that you're getting from that some traffic from that as well. So, and the only thing that I do, I actually do what I used to do back home. What I am. I just work, and I just do it every day, from the morning till the evening. That's just me. I just like working. I just like being successful. I don't know. So for me, it's nothing extraordinary. I'm just doing my thing. And I guess if you live here and you're already getting paid by the state of the state of California for just being American, and everything is good. You have money to feed your kids. You have money, to even people with no homes here, like bums, or how do you call them?
yep, bums.
They wear sneakers that like Jordans for $150, and he's just laying on the ground. He's eating sometimes not very cheap food, good food, and he's doing nothing. So you don't have to do anything to enjoy the life.
They got a phone.
And they got an iPhone stays sitting right next to him.
Good point.
So in order to have Jordan sneakers, iPhone 8 or iPhone 10 or all that stuff, you have to work your ass off back in Ukraine, back in Russia, back in Romania.
For months.
Yeah, and here he doesn't do a shit, and he's already having it. So I guess this is what makes this picture look like you said. Sometimes Americans take it as a granted. Yeah, because of that.
And I'll say that. I'll say it seems as though Americans take it for granted and they complain. And if you don't know, when this video comes out, it is Memorial Day, which I'm a big supporter of the military, and especially the vets that have died supporting. We're in America, like you said, and it's a term that has been around America for I don't know how long. I don't know if you guys even know, but the land of opportunity.
It is.
If you can get there, you can make your dreams come true. And I see so many people already here, and they're not making their dreams come true, and they just complain and complain and complain. And the one thing I like about you is you remind me of like Dennis from Russia or Mona, is that you guys come from somewhere else and you dominate. And it's not because of anything that you do in the gym. I don't think. I think it's just your mindset, and it's all three of your mindsets. Is that you guys have just a "I won't quit" attitude. You know, you go to this thing about curling, and you're like, "Got to go." Yeah, I'll jump in. I'll do it.
Absolutely.
I'm ready here. It's an opportunity. Let's go.
Yeah.
Where a majority of the people, even some of my training partners, would be like, I'm good. And I love the kind of people that will tussle. Just like, it's got an opportunity, let me do it. Yeah. And I love that. And I just...
and that's the way you are, yourself. Because I approached you at the Gold's Gym Mecca when we first met. And if I just asked you if we can shoot a video together. And you said, okay, let's do it tomorrow. And like I told you that day, I was very surprised with you being so ready to do it, because with people who I was approaching earlier before you, they were not so flexible. They were telling me that, okay, I need to check my schedule, I need to plan, I need to get with the Gold's Gym manager before we start shooting. And with you, it was just like that. So you see the opportunity, or why not do something if you have time, if it helps you, you just have fun, you just do something, you know?
I think there's a side thing there that irritates me, because you'll get a lot of social media people. It doesn't
work out, so why not try it?
Social media people, I feel like when they become successful or get numbers, they get a temperament. Well, let me check my schedule. I'm pretty busy. I'm all this and that. You know your schedule. Let's settle down. Settle down, Junior. I know you live in an apartment. You got 2 million followers, but let's settle down here. There becomes which I hate to see, the arrogance come because of the following. I never like to see that. And the most successful people aren't arrogant because they have followings. They're not arrogant because they have fame. They're not arrogant because they have money. Those kind of things just bring out who the individual really is. So if you give somebody fame that's not a good person, they're still not a good person. They don't change much. If you give them money, they don't change much. And what I notice is, like, if you ever walk up to Arnold Schwarzenegger, Arnold's Arnold. Arnold's a guy's guy. He'll talk to you. Mostly if you're a guy in there and you're trying hard and you're working hard, he'll give you the time of day and he'll talk to you. Where you see guys a quarter of his popularity or what he's succeeded to do, acting arrogant about, let me check, let me talk to my manager, he'll get back to you, and then they'll talk to their people and they'll get back to you. And I'm like, wow, this is in 2 years you're done, kid. That kind of attitude. And it's if you can stay humble through the process of making the money, making the fame, and making because you really
staying who you are.
Yeah, because the world will humble you. The world will set you straight. As soon as you think you're too great for everybody, the world will set you straight.